Welcome to the Reach Nation podcast. Our goal is simple: to help you grow in your leadership and become a better disciple of Jesus. Let's dive in and grow together. Welcome to the Reach Nation podcast. I'm glad that you guys clicked on. If you clicked onto this video, that means you too are trying to grow in your leadership and discipleship. And today we're talking about something that really every leader feels, but very few leaders talk about. And we're talking about pressure. We're talking about feeling the pressure of leadership and feeling the pressure of trying to make disciples and leading teams and leading people to Christ. We're talking about pressure. I want to start by quoting the great theologian CBUM, if you know who that is, Chris Bumstead, who said, "Pressure is a privilege." The fact that you feel pressure, the fact that you feel like, hey, I'm responsible for something. Hey, these people depend on me, or this connect group depends on my leadership. That pressure is a privilege. Now listen, most of us don't really think like that. If we're being honest, most of us don't really think like that. We try to minimize our responsibility. We try to get to a place where life feels easier or lighter, or maybe just a place where it feels more comfortable, because pressure comes with the territory of leaders. Pressure comes with the territory, like, welcome to leadership. We're going to feel pressure. If you're leading anything, people, a family, a team, a ministry, listen to me, you are going to feel pressure. The pressure of helping others, the pressure of serving others, the pressure of carrying others' burdens. You're going to feel pressure if you are leading anything of purpose. You cannot carry purpose without pressure. You cannot carry purpose without pressure. I want to read this verse to you in James chapter 1, verse 12. It says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Did you catch it? Did you catch it? Blessed is the one who does not avoid pressure, but endures it. Blessed is the one who, even though you feel like you're in a trial, you don't give up. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person receives the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. So, maybe the pressure that you're feeling right now is not a sign that something's wrong. Maybe the pressure that you feel right now is not a sign that something is wrong, but maybe it's a sign that you're right where you're supposed to be. Maybe the fact that you feel that pressure means that you have a purpose. And pressure is a privilege. Pressure is not punishment. Pressure is a privilege. So, what do we do as leaders when we feel pressure? Because you're going to feel pressure. What do we do when we feel pressure? Don't forget where to take the pressure you feel. Don't forget where to take the pressure that you feel. Because pressure handled the wrong way will crush you. Pressure handled the wrong way will crush even the best of leaders. 1 Peter 5:7 tells us where to take those pressures and those concerns. It tells us, cast all of your cares, all of your burdens, all of your trials, all of the pressure that you feel. Cast all of your cares on him, because he, Jesus, cares for you. That word cares literally means like anxieties, worries. We can substitute pressures in there. So what is God really saying through this verse? What is he trying to teach us? What is God telling us? Don't carry what you were called to cast. Every one of us are going to feel pressure, but that does not mean that you should be carrying that pressure alone. You should be casting all of your anxieties and cares on him. Some of you, if we're being honest, are exhausted, not because you're leading too much, not because you have too many responsibilities, but simply because you're holding too much. Some of us feel exhausted or worn out or burnt out, not because we're leading too many things, but truthfully because we're carrying too many things. Pressure becomes crippling when you keep it inside. Pressure becomes crippling to even the best leaders when you keep it inside to yourself. Let me give you a few ways that we do that as leaders, and maybe we don't even realize it. Number one of the first ways that we keep this pressure inside without realizing it is through what I call perfectionism. Perfectionism. We convince ourselves that we have to get everything right all the time. Every minute detail, every little thing, we have to get it completely right. We have to make this thing perfect, and we add that pressure to ourselves and we carry it inside. Let me remind you, no one is perfect. No one is perfect, and no one's going to lead perfectly. Jesus was and is the only perfect person who ever was on this side of heaven. Jesus is the only one who is truly perfect. So drop the pressure of perfectionism. You've got to drop the pressure of perfectionism, because perfectionism will paralyze you faster than failure will. Let me read that one more time. Perfectionism will paralyze you faster than failure will. So number one, we have to get rid of this perfectionism mindset. Number two, we hold this stuff in if we don't share our struggles. If we don't share our struggles, our pressures with our team or with our pastor or with our mentor, we don't share our struggles. There's this verse in Ecclesiastes 4:10 that I think perfectly sums this up. It says, if one person falls, the other person can reach out and help them. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Someone who is alone has no one that they're sharing their life with, their struggles with. If that person falls in a ditch, homies, they're not getting out. They've got no one to help them up. But the one who has somebody with him, the one who is sharing their struggles and their burdens with others and with those trusted pastors or mentors, that person has someone who will help them out. To fall alone, to carry this pressure alone, because there is pressure involved in leadership, there is pressure involved in purpose, but to carry it alone, that's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And yet so many leaders, that's where we live. So many leaders, we live right there, not sharing what's really going on in our lives with others. We carry everything internally. We smile publicly. We are awesome in the lobby on Sundays, high-fiving people and talking to people, but secretly we struggle. We celebrate publicly everything that's going on, but we struggle privately. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Come on, hear me on the Reach Nation Leadership Podcast, that's not going to be your story. No, you were never meant to carry leadership or life alone. We usually do this because the thought that we need to be steadfast and strong and have it all together, that we've got to keep everything together, that's usually what drives hiding some of these things that we're carrying. But the truth is a good leader does need to be strong. A good leader does need to be steadfast. And what I'm hoping that you see is through the life of Jesus, that actually allowing others into your struggle and to your pressure is being strong and is being steadfast. Jesus at the Garden of Gethsemane, when he was under the immense pressure of everything that was going to happen to him over the next several hours, he invited his disciples in to pray with him. He invited them. He said, I am hard pressed. I feel the pressure of everything I'm to do. Will you come and pray with me? He invited them in. You may impress people with your strengths. We want to be strong leaders. Absolutely. You may impress people with your strength, but listen to me. You connect with others through your vulnerabilities. You connect with others as you let them into your pressure and your struggle. If you want to make real impact, if you want to have real relationships and real leadership, listen to me, you've got to let people in. That is actually a sign of strength and maturity in your leadership, is do you have healthy outlets, people, mentors, pastors that you weekly are checking in with and letting them in on some of the things that you're feeling. Just last week, I actually sat down with my pastor. I've got 3 little girls. I've got a little girl that we take to the hospital multiple times for her checkups. And I was telling my pastor this week, hey, I'm feeling the pressure of anxiety. It's so healthy. It is strong leadership to have people who are walking with you in this life. Number 3, one of the ways that we carry this pressure in without realizing it and we let it consume us is this one right here. We forget our why. We forget why we're doing ministry and leadership in the first place. We forget our why, and this is a huge one because pressure will chew you up and spit you out if you lose the reason why you are in the pressure anyway. It will have great leaders running out the door because they forgot, why did they get involved in the first place? Why did they start serving in the first place? Why are you doing this job or this connect group, or why are you doing the thing that you're doing? Why did God put you in this position? Maybe it's good for you to go back and write some things down and be like, Lord, why did you put me in this position? Do I have a story to tell? Is there something that you want me to share with the next generation or share with my team? This is why you've placed me here. Why did he entrust you with these people? You know, if you're a leader of any capacity, you have been entrusted with a great responsibility. That is the pressure that you feel. So why did he entrust you with that? Because the truth is we are wired for comfort. We are creatures of comfort. We naturally drift towards what's easy. So the quickest way for the enemy to take you out, is not always through like destruction and like tripping you up over all these major things in your life. No, it's often through distraction, distracting you from your why. If he can get you off focus, if he can get you to forget your why, then he can get you to quit under pressure. He can get you to quit under pressure. So you've got to stay anchored to your why. Why are you doing what God's called you to do? Why are you in that leadership group? Why are you going to college? Why are you becoming an intern at Faith Coast Students? Why are you doing these things? You've got to be anchored to your why, and you got to revisit your why often. So that way, when distractions come, when the pressures feel too much, you remember, no, this is why. Pressure is a privilege, and I'm here because God called me here. I'm here to do his will, not mine. If you're going to handle the pressure of leadership, listen to me. This is how I kind of want to close the Reach Nation pod number 6 on pressure. If you are going to be in any kind of leadership, listen to me. You better be praying. You better be praying. You better have a life where you are in constant communication with Jesus through prayer. There's a book by Chad Veach. Shout out Chad Veach, Leadership, Lean In, LLI. I'm a leaner, by the way. Says in this title of the book, it says, I worry about everything because I pray about nothing. I worry about everything because I pray about nothing. And if we're honest, that hits. Like if we're being honest as leaders, that definitely hits because so many of us, that's where we live. We're worried about all of these different things, or we feel the pressures of life, of leadership, of leading the teams that we lead, but yet we don't pray. We don't come to him in prayer and cast our cares on him and mention these things in prayer, like very humbly before God, like, hey, God, this team that you gave me, I'm feeling the pressure of it right now. And I just submit that back to you, Lord. Will you be with me and give me wisdom, and will you strengthen my soul? That's just a humble prayer that I think every one of us should be praying all the time, is, Lord, will you help me with the pressures that I feel? Instead of releasing things in prayer, we often hold on to them and let them chew us up on the inside. So let me make this simple, and let me make it dramatic too. I wrote this down very dramatic because I want this to stick with you. Pressure without prayer is poison. I know I made that very dramatic on purpose, but I want you to remember it. Pressure without prayer is like poison, and it will eat you up from the inside. It will drain you. It will break you down over time. But listen to this. Prayer under pressure. Prayer under pressure produces purity. It produces purity. I want to finish by talking about gold for a moment. You know, there's a passage in Scripture where he's talking about gold has to go through this intense, fiery, refining process for it to become pure. And the truth is, this pressure is like that fire. So many of us, with the things that we lead or the things that we have been entrusted, the responsibilities that we carry, if we would just flip our mindset that those things are actually purifying me, that those pressures that I feel, that if I will just stay in the place of pressure, I need you to really hear this. If I will just stay where the fire seems the hottest, oftentimes that is the exact place that's going to produce the purity of leadership that I need, the purity of heart that I need, the purity of worship that I need. It's often found right there at the hardest point, at the point of the most pressure, that is actually producing purity. That's why you need prayer. That's why you need prayer, is because when you feel the heat turned up to 10, when you feel the pressures of leadership, which you will feel, prayer keeps you right where you are supposed to be positioned for purity. And I just want to encourage you with this too. I read this a long time ago that whenever they're refining things, like whenever they're making, I believe it's silver, whenever silver is in the fiery furnace, that the person who is refining it, so like this would be God in this example, that the person who is refining it stands so closely and knows the exact time to pull it out of the fire. He's not going to leave you helpless and hopeless. He's standing nearby. He sees the team that he has called you to lead. He sees your heart. He knows what you need, but you have to come to him in prayer. And he is standing close, and he knows when is the right time to pull you out. And that is often after the fiery furnace has been turned up to 10, after you feel the pressure of having to lead some big event, or you're responsible for multiple teams. But if you will listen to me, what makes you pure is the pressure. Pressure is a privilege. So prayer keeps you in the right position. It keeps you in the fire. It keeps you in the fight. It keeps you in the game under pressure, because that's where growth really happens. Well, another pod in the books, number 6, pressure is a privilege. Thank you, C-Bum, for teaching us that one. But hey, I hope this blessed your life. I hope this helped you grow even just a little bit in your leadership and discipleship. And I want to tell you about something coming up. If you're a student in the area, the Shompton area, Shawnee, Oklahoma, if you're a student around here, Church Camp is coming up July 17th through the 20th, and I would love to connect with you. If you are a 6th grader through 12th grade, I would love to talk to you about the opportunity of going to Church Camp with us. We have an amazing time, but I would love to get connected with you. So again, just want to say thank you for watching the Reach Nation podcast, where we are committed one episode at a time to just getting a little bit better and a little bit better in our leadership and discipleship. Love you guys. We'll catch you in the next one.